Elise Stefanik has shown herself to be a staunch defender of the Jewish people and the land of Israel. Certainly since October 7th, beforehand as well, but certainly since October 7th, she has been one of the strongest voices in support of the Jewish people and the land of Israel. Take a look at this clip over here at her Senate hearing, where she's being confirmed as the UN ambassador, and she's questioned all sorts of different things regarding the conflict in Israel. And there's an interesting question that she's presented. Do you believe that the so-called West Bank belongs to the Jewish people and that they have a biblical right to it? Take a look at what her answer is. But before we look at that clip, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch with you. Look at this.
Senator Van Hollen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Stefanik, it was good to meet with you the other day. We discussed many of the important issues you will face at the United Nations. And I was pleased to hear you say that despite your voting record in the House, you support funding for the United Nations and most of its agencies. And we agreed that U.S. disengagement from the United Nations would simply cede lots of territory to our adversaries. Sadly, President Trump's decision to leave the World Health Organization will do just that. I believe it will make us less safe. Viruses don't respect national boundaries. Also, much false information has been spread about UNRWA this morning. I simply urge all my colleagues to go read the U.S. intelligence assessment of UNRWA, an organization that Cindy McCain, the head of the World Food Program, has described as, quote, indispensable. One issue that you will immediately face at the UN are discussions and resolutions regarding the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East. And I associate myself with Senator Rosen's comments about the importance of enforcing UN Security Resolution 1701, along with other UN Security Council resolutions. Like you, I've met with the hostage families, many of them, and I commend President Trump and Special Middle East Envoy Steve Witkoff for the role they played in finally securing the agreement to release the hostages and enter into a ceasefire. It's essential that they achieve its full implementation. I'd like to discuss your views about what people refer to as the day after. In Gaza and beyond. President Trump has an opportunity to bring some light at the end of a very dark tunnel we find ourselves in, the latest chapter being the horrific Hamas attacks of October 7th. The president has said he wants to bring long-term peace and security to the region. Clearly, Hamas can have no role in that future, but long-term peace must include security, self-determination, and dignity for Israelis and Palestinians alike. When we talked in my office, you agreed that we should stand up and protect universal human rights and self-determination for all people, including both Israelis and Palestinians. And I'd just like to hear you today say that that's your view.
To put that view in the context of the day after question, I think President Trump is uniquely positioned at this very challenging moment to bring peace to the region, to eradicate terrorists of Hamas and Hezbollah, to protect Israel's national security. If you look at the failures, we've given billions of dollars, and this is just the bilateral aid to the Palestinians, and it has been abused by Hamas.
Representative Stefanik, it was a very simple question. I'm just asking you if you agree with the statement that in order to achieve long-term peace and stability in the Middle East, that we have to secure the human rights and rights of self-determination for both Israelis and Palestinians. That's a yes or no?
I support human rights for all, and I think it's a disgrace that Hamas and Hezbollah have stripped human rights of the Palestinian people, and we need to ensure that we are standing up for human rights, and Israel is standing up for human rights. It is a beacon of human rights in the region.
We agree with that. I asked you in my office also about whether Palestinians have the right of self-determination. My understanding was you said yes. Do you have a different answer today?
That was not the direct question that we discussed. I said the
Do you
Palestinian
believe
people.
that Palestinians have the right of self-determination?
I believe the Palestinian people deserve so much better than the failures that they've
We
had
agree
from
on that.
terrorist
It's
leadership.
just a pretty simple question.
And I believe we
I
need
take it
peace
the
in the
answer is no.
region. Of course, they
So-
deserve human rights.
So
I want to ensure that, number one, we bring the hostages home. I
so
want
do
to
all of us. Representative Stefanik, let me just ask you. I have 30 seconds left. I'm rarely surprised by answers in my office, but I did ask you whether you subscribe to the views of Finance Minister Smotrich.
Of who? I'm sorry, finance.
Smotrich, this is the Israeli Finance Minister Smotrich, and the former National Security Minister Ben-Gvir, who believe that Israel has a biblical right to the entire West Bank. And in that conversation, you told me that, yes, you shared that view. Is that your view today?
Yes.
Well, there you have it. And a lot of folks in the government are also coming to recognize this fact that the so-called West Bank is not really the West Bank. It is Judea and Samaria, which are a part of the land of Israel. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch with you. Take care.